Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Power is Now teleconference. At this time, all participants are in a listen-only mode. Later, we will conduct a question-and-answer session, and instructions will follow at that time. If anyone should require audio assistance during the call, please press star then 0 on your touch-tone telephone. As a reminder, this conference call is being recorded. And now, your host for the Power is Now, Eric Frazier. Sir, you may begin.
Good morning and Happy New Year. Welcome to the first Power is Now teleconference of the year. It's a beautiful day in Southern California, and what a way to start off the new year with Stephen Cates, international speaker, and a great topic, the secrets to generating breakthroughs. My name is Eric Frazier, and I'm the host of the Power is Now teleconference, and I am incredibly blessed to meet so many wonderful people who come on this teleconference every week to share their knowledge for free. It's a beautiful thing, folks, and I am absolutely honored to be the host of this program. I'm also the president of the Orange County Association of Real Estate Brokers, a chapter of the National Association of Real Estate Brokers. Please go to ocareb.org and check out the national organization at nareb.com. Become a member of the Orange County chapter of NAREB. I'm also the branch manager for Wells Fargo Home Mortgage, North Orange County markets. Once a week, I conduct this teleconference, but every day I lead a team of dynamic home mortgage consultants who serve this market in branches throughout North Orange County. They are the most professional and knowledgeable people you can work with in the industry. We call ourselves a do-it-now team because we work with a sense of urgency and we get the job done. In fact, we back it up with the Wells Fargo close-on-time guarantee. Please consider using one of my team members on your next transaction. You can contact any member of my team at the team website at www.thedoitnowteam. That is thedoitnowteam.com. Thank you for the opportunity to serve your clients. And if you're out of the area, please go to wellsfargo.com/mortgage and get in contact with a local mortgage consultant, and I promise you will not be disappointed. The phrase of Power is Now suggests that we maximize our potential for success in business and in life when we act on information and opportunities now. The present is our future because it's a reflection of our past decisions. And so the Power is Now teleconference is a series of teleconferences designed to motivate and empower our real estate agent partners to sell more homes, expand our business of buyers and sellers to be well informed about changes in strategy, lending, the market, the economy, and government and conventional programs that may affect your clients and your business. We ended the year last year, in fact it was December 16th, I believe, with Cheryl Travis Crawford, Senior Vice President and Business Development Manager for Vendor Resource Management. Cheryl did a wonderful job talking about the opportunities for business and training at VRM. It was a power-packed teleconference. I wish you could have been there or heard it live. If you missed a call, please go to facebook.com/powerisnow. Check out the wall and click like it if you do. And please subscribe to the YouTube channel where you can listen to all the previous teleconferences of The Power is Now. Today on The Power is Now is one of America's foremost authorities on achieving peak performance in real estate and maximizing sales. Over the last 25 years, Stephen Cates has delivered over 2,000 speeches and seminars to organizations such as the National Association of Realtors, nearly every other national franchise, as well as the New York Times and Dell Computer, helping those organizations maximize their performance and production. He would also like you to know that he was in the bottom half of the class that made the top half possible. His unique techniques to generating breakthroughs in sales and profits have made it possible for agents, brokers, and real estate companies to produce record results. Today's topic is entitled The Secret to Generating Breakthroughs, if you like, in real estate. Stephen Cates, thank you for being on the Power is Now teleconference.
Well, it's my pleasure, Eric. It's great to be here.
Well, we really appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule and being a part of the show today. Steve, before we get into our subject today, Share with our audience a little bit about you more personally. Like, where are you from originally? And, in fact, where are you calling us from today?
Well, I'm calling from Scottsdale, Arizona. I was born in Mobile, Alabama, but by the time I was 12 years old, I had lived in 10 states and 2 countries. My father was in the Air Force, so we were constantly moving.
Wow. So Mobile, Alabama. So you're a Southern boy. I'm from Memphis, Tennessee.
That's right, for the most part, yeah. And then from there, I went to the East Coast and then to the Midwest, 3 different states in the Midwest, and then ended up in Scottsdale in Arizona.
So you've traveled a lot, and what were the 2 countries you lived in?
Okinawa and Guam.
Guam, okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
Where did you go to school?
Well, I went to school in lots of places all over the country, but ultimately in Texas, SMU, and then I Western Michigan, and then finally got a PhD in Seattle.
Oh, so you are Dr. Stephen Cates.
Yeah, well, I don't use that, but it sounds a little pretentious.
So what was your doctorate in?
Psychology.
Psychology.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I tell you, psychology and sales definitely go together, don't they?
Absolutely.
Well, what makes you qualified to speak to our audience today, Stephen? Have you ever been in sales or in real estate?
Yes. I started with a direct sales company, about a $300 million company, started at the bottom and was promoted through the ranks to vice president, and that company had 3,000 sales managers and then 30,000 salespeople. So in working my way through it, I was number 1 in sales, number 1 manager, number 1 increase, and essentially was the youngest, the youngest person at all those levels. So by the time I was 30 years old, I was vice president of the company. But then I went into real estate. Well, actually something that happened, just so you know, I lost my son not long after becoming vice president of the company. I lost my 14-year-old son who was killed in a small plane, and that was changed my whole life and what mattered. And so I left the company and ended up in real estate and did that for a time, but then I missed a lot of the work that I used to speak all the time. I probably, before I even got into this business as a professional, I probably gave 1,400 speeches and seminars because I spoke every week to my organizations throughout the country. And so I ended up in the speaking business. And it was really more of a mission to, if you will, be of service and value to other people so that they wouldn't have to suffer like I did. And then since that time, I've been in a very intense study of human behavior and change and transformation, and that's what I share with audiences. I think that's the highest value that I can provide to people. So that's what drives me. That's my mission.
Well, it sounds like, out of very tragic circumstances that really gave birth to, the person you are today and understanding human behavior. And did you obtain your doctorate before or after your son's death?
After.
After. So
yeah.
I see. You were really into understanding yourself and others, right, and how to deal with life and how to how to get breakthroughs. I would assume at that point you definitely needed a breakthrough yourself.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I have a position on life, if you will, or a saying,
okay,
that everything serves you if you let it. And so, when something happens, we say it's good or it's bad, but we really don't know. If everyone who's listening on the air today, more than likely your breakdowns in life probably brought you to where you are and had more influence on learning and insight and perhaps even drive and determination than anything good that happened to you or your successes, if you will.
That's a great statement. Everything serves you if you let it. I think I'll add that to my list of great quotes that I get, it seems like, every week from speakers like yourself. Our subject today is the secret to generating breakthroughs. Define a breakthrough, because there may be some people on this call that don't even know they need one.
Right. Well, a breakthrough is like a quantum leap. It's not just some small measure of improvement, but rather a quantum leap in results in some area of your life. Could be your personal experience of life, could be your results, and of course for real estate people, sales, production. I have a coaching program. I coach people, and I have a great many outstanding coaches. And some of the people most people that come in my coaching program, they have some kind of breakthrough. And I'll just give you an example. One guy, Jay Gallagher, whom I still coach, he came to one of my seminars. This is October 26th of about 3 years ago. People can relate to this. You know, he had lots of transactions in escrow, but none of them closed. And he was living off the equity in his home. He had a wife. He has a wife and 2 small girls. And he was rather stressed out, if you could imagine. And he was down to his last $5,000 that he could get out of his home. And he didn't know what to do. And he came to the seminar. He didn't want to come to the seminar. His friend said, come on to this seminar. I said, I don't want to go. You know, he was so stressed out. And he sat there and listened, and he said, you know what? I realize that my problem is in my head. By the way, he was in a coaching program paying $850 a month. It was about generating all these leads from websites and putting up all these websites, and he had lots of leads. He got transactions in escrow. They fell out. But he realized that it was his mindset, like lots of people that are listening. It was his mindset that was the issue. He didn't know how to go home. His biggest fear was how to go home and tell his wife that he joined another coaching program when he was already in one. You can imagine that, right? Well, honey, you know, I know that other coaching program, but I joined another one, and I spent $500 today. So, nevertheless, he joined the coaching program. This is October 26th, right? Mm-hmm. In January, he made $101,000, okay? Now, that is a breakthrough. That year, he made $350,000. That's a breakthrough. The next year, he made $986,000. Now, that's a breakthrough.
Wow.
Yeah.
Those are serious quantum leaps in income.
Yeah. But remember, the more you do, the more you can do.
The more you do, the more you can do. So
yeah, because it opens up new possibilities.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's fantastic. Well, I think we all are looking for breakthroughs in 2011 to do more, to make more money, to be more successful, to have more time, to be in control of what we're doing. We have so many. I don't know. My list of resolutions continues to get, longer, and I need to break them down to the vital few. But let's talk about the 3 essential steps that guarantee a breakthrough.
Okay. Well, a lot of people out there are in breakdown. And what's breakdown? Well, we've all had breakdowns. Obviously, losing my son was a breakdown, but I've had many breakdowns in life. In fact, when you go for a breakthrough, you can count on having breakdowns. But understand that when you're having a breakdown, usually that's the only time you're willing to look and see what you're doing, what you're thinking, what your approach is, because as long as things are going okay, you usually don't look at that very much. So if you're in a breakdown, the good news is that's a great place to have a breakthrough, because you're open, and everyone in this call is interested in having a breakthrough. There's no question. You wouldn't have taken the time out of your life to put other things aside, to get on the line, to listen. And more than likely you're taking some notes, because this stuff is fleeting. As Earl Nightingale said one time, ideas are like slippery fish. If you don't capture them with a pen, they're gone forever. So we want to write some of these things down and have meaning for you in the moment.
Sure.
So in order to have a breakthrough, first you have to have a break with your old ways of thinking. And again, this is